Okay, let's jump into this. You know that feeling, right? That sinking feeling when you spot a charge for some subscription you totally forgot about.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe one you thought you canceled.
Exactly. And then trying to actually cancel it becomes this whole saga. Well, that's pretty much ground zero for our deep dive today.
Sure, sure. We're looking at this TechCrunch article you sent over about the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, filing a lawsuit against Uber.
Right. Not just a small complaint.
No, this is the government stepping in. The main issue seems to be, well, the FTC is saying Uber charged people for its Uber One subscription, kind of without their full okay, especially after free trials.
Uh-huh. Like an automatic charge you didn't really agree to?
Precisely. And on top of that, they're questioning if the savings Uber promised were, actually real or maybe a bit misleading.
Making it super hard to cancel.
That too. A deliberately difficult cancellation process. That's the core allegation.
Okay, so our mission here, for everyone listening, is to kind of unpack what the FTC is claiming, see what Uber's saying back, and figure out what this whole thing means for, well, pretty much all of us using any kind of subscription service.
Right. Let's dig into the FTC side first. What exactly are they alleging? The article breaks it down. First, like you said, charging without clear consent.
So you sign up for a free trial, maybe get some perks for a month.
And then, boom, a charge shows up on your card. The FTC argues Uber didn't get a clear yes from users before flipping that switch from free to paid.
It's that automatic rollover. Why do companies even do that? I mean, it seems designed to catch people out.
Well, it's often about inertia, Behavioral economics, they bank on people forgetting or just not bothering to cancel. It's easier to let it ride than to take action.
So they hope a chunk of people just become paying customers by default.
Exactly. But the FTC's point here is that Uber allegedly didn't make that transition clear enough. It wasn't just the charge itself, though, was it? They also had issues with the advertised savings.
Yeah, tell me about that, the $25 monthly savings claim.
Right. The FTC says that claim could be deceptive because, well, it didn't seem to account for the subscription fee itself, which the article pegs at around, what, $10 a month?
So wait, they say you save $25, but you have to spend $10 to get those savings.
Potentially, yes. Your net saving is much lower, maybe $15, and that's if you use the service enough to actually hit that $25 threshold in the first place.
That feels a bit misleading, doesn't it? Like saying you save money buying a car, but not mentioning the car's price tag.
That's kind of the FTC's angle, I think. And they also pointed fingers at how Uber actually presented these subscription details during the sign-up.
How so?
The allegation is they used, small print. Really small, maybe grayed out text for the important bits.
The classic fine print trick.
Yeah. Making it easy to miss the stuff about automatic renewal, the billing terms, the crucial details. The idea is it might have been intentionally obscured.
And if that's true, legally, that's about whether a reasonable consumer would understand it. Right. Hiding terms isn't exactly new, but...
It's definitely a point of contention. But the FTC's complaint wasn't just about signing up. It was also heavily focused on getting out, the cancellation process.
Right. This is where it gets really frustrating for a lot of people, I imagine. The FTC says Uber made canceling Uber One extremely difficult.
Extremely difficult. They described this potential maze, something like navigating up to 23 different screens.
23 screens, seriously.
And maybe 32 separate actions, clicks, confirmations, whatever.
Wow. Why would any company make it that hard? It seems purely designed to stop people canceling.
You'd have to assume that's the goal, right? Create friction, make it so much hassle that people just give up, keep paying.
Yeah, the article mentioned things like having to explain why you want to leave, being offered pauses, getting new offers.
Yeah, like a retention campaign disguised as cancellation process. A full court press, as you said.
And it gets worse.
Apparently. The FTC also claims some users trying to cancel were told to contact customer support, but then weren't given a clear way to actually do that. Like no email, no chat link, nothing functional.
So a dead end.
Right.
And people were still getting charged.
That's another allegation. Charges continuing even after people thought they'd canceled or while they were waiting for this supposed support contact.
Man, that's rough. Your only option then is maybe disputing with your bank, which is its own headache. You can see why the FTC would step in.
Definitely. Okay, so that's the FTC's case, more or less. But what about Uber? They must have a response.
What are they saying?
Well, according to TechCrunch, Uber is basically denying everything. Flat out.
No truth to any of it.
They say their sign-up and cancellation are clear, simple, and follow the law. Completely compliant.
They even gave a time frame for canceling now, didn't they?
Yeah, they claim most users can cancel right in the app now in like 20 seconds or less.
20 seconds versus 23 screens and 32 actions. That's quite a difference.
It really highlights the conflict here. They did sort of acknowledge a past policy, though.
What was that?
Something about needing to contact support if you canceled within 48 hours of signing up. But they insist that's not the case anymore.
But they didn't say when it changed.
The article doesn't specify. And the timing of a change like that could definitely matter in an investigation. Did they change it because the FTC was looking or before?
Good point. And Uber's team had some pretty strong words about the FTC's investigation itself, right?
They did. Tim Muris, who's actually a former FTC chairman advising Uber,
Oh, interesting.
and Christine Wilson, their outside lawyer, they basically slammed the process, called it rushed, said the allegations were unvetted and based on misunderstandings.
So attacking the investigation's credibility, that's a bold strategy.
It suggests they feel the whole approach was flawed, maybe biased, adds another whole layer to the dispute.
Okay, let's zoom out. Why is this happening now? Is the FTC suddenly really focused on subscriptions?
It seems like it. This isn't happening in a vacuum. The article connects it to the FTC's broader push on subscription cancellations. Remember their click-to-cancel rule?
Ah, yeah, the one that makes canceling supposedly as easy as signing up.
Exactly. That was finalized late last year, October 2024, and it's set to kick in around May 2025. So this Uber lawsuit fits right into that pattern. They're putting muscle behind the rule.
Makes sense. They're trying to send a message. The article quoted the FTC chairman, Andrew Ferguson.
What did he say?
Something like, Americans are tired of getting signed up for unwanted subscriptions that seem impossible to cancel, and that the FTC is fighting back. Pretty clear statement.
Yeah, no ambiguity there. And it matters because Uber One is, well, it's huge.
How huge?
The article cited 30 million members across 34 countries in 2024, growing fast too, like 60% year over year.
Wow.
And the CEO apparently estimated over $1 billion in membership fees for 2024. So we're talking big numbers, big revenue.
$1 billion. So if the FTC wins, what happens?
They're asking the court to stop Uber from using these alleged tactics and potentially monetary relief, getting money back to consumers who were affected. It could be significant.
Okay, so wrapping this up. It boils down to a pretty fundamental clash. FTC says Uber's practices around Uber One are deceptive and unfair.
From sign-up to savings claims to cancellation, all of it.
And Uber says, nope, we're playing by the rules, our system is clear and easy, and the FTC rushed us.
Exactly. A total denial.
And for everyone listening, this whole situation really just throws a spotlight on those subscription pain points we all know, right?
Mm-hmm.
The surprise charges, the maybe not so great deals, the cancellation runaround.
It's super relatable. Streaming, software, delivery services, we're all navigating this subscription world.
Which kind of leads to a final thought to chew on. Think about your own experiences. Have you run into stuff like this? Unexpected fees, savings that didn't quite pan out, impossible cancellations.
And what does a big case like this against a company like Uber tell us about where things might be heading? Does it signal a real shift towards, companies needing to be more upfront and user-friendly with subscriptions? Definitely something worth pondering as you click subscribe or maybe try to click unsubscribe.